Yep. Hey there, crypto friends. If you guys are already watching now, we got all the friends here today in the live stream. So we're doing it big, man. This is great having all you know. I was talking to BitBoy, and we haven't done one of these, I feel, in quite some
It's been a
time.
hot
You know, I was
minute.
like, man, we were doing them for a good minute there, I think like last year, and then we just kind of just no more love. We haven't been showing the love on the multi YouTuber live stream lately.
I know we haven't. I haven't been
That's
on
good.
Crow's channel in a while.
Nobody loves me.
Well,
Nobody
I'll come
does.
on next. I'll come on in 2 weeks.
We got love. We're here now. We're doing it now.
Yeah,
so I
we're
think
doing
that
it
that
now.
makes it's good. You know, it's a
Okay.
good kickoff. We gotta just keep rotating it around and whoring around a little bit more. So we get Beatles in here. We gotta get
Gotta get love in here.
love in here. Yeah, we gotta get there's a couple other people that dip it on the outside. You know, but
Well, I mean,
We're gonna-
it's just there was only so much to go around, you know, and the markets were so bad for so long. I mean, how many times can you say Bitcoin's down again today? You know, so I mean,
Yeah.
exciting starting to come
I was-
back, and
I was
Yeah.
doing that on my Twitter like 10 times a day. It was terrible.
yeah,
Bitcoin
So-
is up today though, so it's
It
looking
is.
good.
What are we at? I think we've been dude. I was looking at the charts and we're like, can I cuss or no?
Why not? It's YouTube. What do you think this is?
Well,
Public broadcast channel.
we are fucking rocking on Bitcoin, man. We're like, I'm looking at the chart right now and we broke, I wasn't sure if we were going to break 93, but we broke 93. We flipped it. We made it our bitch. We flipped it into support. Now we're testing 94. We're up above 95.31. Yeah. And we're testing almost 97. And my next big area of resistance is like 10K because there's really not too much else.
That's a big level. That's a psychological level too. That 10K
Well-
levels. Everyone's like, what do we do now? Sell, 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 or maybe hodl on. Who knows?
What is this cycle's 8,500 though? Like 2017 when we hit the bull run, it went from like 8,500 and then shot to 20 grand in like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, they say
The cycle 8,500. That's what I need to figure out.
the word is it's 10. I mean, the word, that's what people are saying. They're saying once we get back over 10, the FOMO is going to be insane. We're going to go to 20 really quick. I mean, I've seen two different thoughts. I've seen that thought that's like once we pass 10, we're going to shoot up to 40 by the end of the year. Or, you know, it's going to struggle between 10 and 12 and then maybe go back down. But I think, you know, if we can get past 10, like if you guys remember the last time we were at 10 was in May of 2018 when it felt like things were positive again. And we got to 10 and we got rejected and then it just never recovered, you know. And then that was
just kept stepping back down
Yeah.
over course.
Volume's too low, man. Like I want to say, yeah, we're gonna hit 13 grand. I figure we'll hit 13 grand here in a month or so, but I don't necessarily think this 10 grand is going to be the end all be all, because the one thing that I've learned to be a constant in crypto is everything that everybody expects, opposite happens.
Expect the unexpected.
Yeah.
Exactly. Everybody's running around saying 10 grand. So all these freaking whales are like exactly when we're going to sell into the hands of all the stupid people buying in on all this bullshit.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Back in at fucking 8 grand, and then it starts going back up from there. But I mean, you know, we'll see. I still think I did a video that we're going to do 140,000 in 2020, and you know, I think I did a pretty good job of explaining why and how, and you know, hitting that EMA on a weekly, that crossover on a weekly's only happened like twice, you know, in the two or three times over the past like 5 years. And when it does, that was pretty much the indication to me that we were going to go up from there, that was kind of breaking that bear cycle into the bull market. And so far it's held true. And the last time that happened is when we went parabolic with Bitcoin in 2017.
Well, yeah, and then 2020, man, there's so much coming in 2020. You know, the Bitcoin halving is going to be huge. That I think alone would be enough to really drive prices crazy high in 2020. But then you have things like, well, Ethereum 2.0 is coming, and then you see things like Libra coin they're going to be launching around that same time too. So there's going to be a lot of catalysts around that time that are really going to help to propel things forward. And so, yeah.
Well, I'm a big believer in a $300,000 Bitcoin by the end of this next run. I really am. I believe 330K.
Okay, Tim Draper.
Well,
Yeah, right.
no. Tim Draper's saying like 2025, 300.
Yeah.
You know, if you look, you know, we all know the most memeable guy of all time making bullish predictions, Tom Lee, but there's the other Lee, Bobby Lee, which is Charlie Lee's brother. And, you know, one thing's for sure, there was no one that pinned the beginning of the bear market and the end of the bear market like Charlie Lee. And you got to think him and his brother share a lot of information. He says by the early 2021, we should be moving towards 300,000. A lot of people are saying this next bull market's going to be 2 to 3 years. It's not going to be,
to get to 300,000 by 2021. We got to hit 140 in 2020.
Yeah, I think both those numbers can happen. So
I'm counting on them. You know what I am a little concerned with is the altcoin market though right now, just because you know, when the hell is the altcoin rally going to begin? And I think that everybody's banking so much on Bitcoin going up so quickly that's what everybody's hedging on. They're basically selling their altcoins. They're continuously dumping their altcoins into Bitcoin because Bitcoin's on this move up. And you know, a part of me hopes that we do hit 10 grand and we do dump a little bit with Bitcoin, and some of these people put the money back into the alt market where it belongs. Because
I mean, technically, when Bitcoin's running, alts are like, you know, they're dumping. What I'm not understanding is I'm not understanding why people are dumping their alts. They should be taking profit and then like continually to flip them and stack sats and then continue to, you know, accumulate Bitcoin, take profit, put some into Bitcoin, buy more alts, and you know, just continue to flip because alts.
Exactly. That's the mentality that should be happening, if anything, but it's the opposite of that, which doesn't make any sense. Every time somebody sells an altcoin right now, they're basically selling at a loss and throwing it into Bitcoin because they see Bitcoin as the one that's currently rising. Right. And what I don't think people understand is that once Bitcoin hits a wall, and it will, I do believe it will hit a wall of some kind, and there will be a consolidation phase that may last a little longer than people think. That is when I think the altcoin rally is going to begin, because people are going to say, well, Bitcoin's just fucking sitting here stagnant for, you know, a month or however long it is. I can throw money into alts and I could probably double that and then go back into Bitcoin before the next bull run officially starts.
Well, you remember when we were at like 50, I want to say it was like 56 or 58. We were there for like a month and it was like, it was like freaking, I remember it was like just terrible. It was literally like the bands on the Bollinger Band, they were just like contracted the whole time. And I'm just like,
well, you get stuck in these channels, and so you see that a lot of times with Bitcoin, where we go, you know, sideways for a while, but we're stuck in this channel where it's, you know, it's bouncing between two numbers, and people are just killing it on that fairly consistent channel that Bitcoin stays in sometimes. And so I think that's what you really gotta look for, those channel patterns where it's always hitting a resistance, then dumping back down to a support, and resistance and support, and it'll bounce around in that quite often. So I think that
that boy's watching porn on his phone.
They need to take advantage of that, you know.
Yeah, it's you I'm watching, so it's the next best thing. Well, you know what we've seen is we were very close to an altcoin season probably about 3 weeks to a month ago. You know, there's three things that have to happen. You know, you have to have Bitcoin rise, then you have to have people take profits. Then you think of it kind of like buckets draining into smaller buckets. You got the big bucket of Bitcoin, and then when people start taking profits, they put that into the top 10 to 20 projects. So we saw Ethereum pump, we saw XRP pump, we saw Litecoin pump. We've seen a lot of those top projects pump, and then after that, people take those profits and then put those
back around.
Yeah, then they put those down in the lower altcoins. You know, the top 100, 200, whatever it might be. But the problem is the last time when we were really close, right when people were taking profits out of the top 10 coins, Bitcoin dumped. You know, all it takes is one big candle to kind of scare everybody away from, you know, reinvesting their money again. So I think we got to see Bitcoin move up pretty quick. And then, you know, after that, people start going into, you know, top 10 projects. And then all the while, Bitcoin has to stay stable while people keep moving on down the list. And then that's when the altcoins will start to pump.
I was absolutely shocked today to see Cardano drop back down to like 8 cents.
Dude, that Leo coin, man, that Leo coin bumped people down. You guys saw that?
Leo or Libra?
No, the Leo coin from Bitfinex.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know.
Oh, what's it at? Like number 12 now?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like,
so you got school me, because I don't know anything about this 13. Leo coin.
So okay, it's at 13 right now, yeah.
So Leo coin is basically the BNB of Bitfinex. So they announced, a while back that it was their first IEO. So they did an IEO for it. Obviously, it wasn't available to U.S. customers. Bitfinex has actually, completely closed the door to U.S. customers. But of course, people have ways of getting around that and still getting it. So, they basically pumped it way up all the way to number 12. Is now the number 2 exchange coin in about 2 weeks. It's gone from nobody knew what it was to Mooncoin. So, but
well, you look at the chart, for it, and like the market cap is it's crazy, just how when it came in. And so yeah, I mean, the fact that we didn't get any kind of exposure to it here in the US, Bitfinex is strictly been off US books. And I think a lot of, even though I was trading on Bitfinex before they closed it down to US customers, but I think whereas people a lot will tend to do like VPNs or something, I definitely did move on after they did that. I was just like, I don't want to have to continue to VPN.
Yeah,
It's sketchy
it's a
anyways.
pain. It's a pain in the ass to do that. Like even
It
when
is.
even when I margin trade, I'm just like, God, like it's just. Ugh.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I think that kind of brings us here to kind of a good topic is that, looking at this happening and these type of regulations in the US causing exchanges to say, hey, I'm sorry, US customers, we got to close our doors, like what happened with Binance recently, like what, Bitfinex is, or Bittrex is doing with, closing off some coins. Holonex, we've seen doing this as well recently too. And so I think that maybe they know something that we don't, with some regulation coming here in the United States is going to be a little bit more solid. And a lot of people are preparing for that. I mean, they're not letting the Binance DEX to be able to be accessed here in the United States. And then, Binance is obviously coming out with maybe a US offering, but it's like US based exchanges that meet regulation, I think are going to be getting here a pretty big boost. We just saw BXC launch, and then we're looking forward here next month
Dun, da, da, da.
Crow's Nest Exchange
There you
launch,
go.
right?
Yeah.
Tell us about it. Lay it down now.
Well, so here's the thing. Like a year ago, I can't believe it's already been a year. A year ago, I sat back and I said, you know what? With the way the crypto market is right now, this wild west of shit, this constant barrage of just mistrust and dishonesty and just all the crap going on. And I was privy to a lot of weird shit going on in some of these exchanges. And I thought, it's just a matter of time until the SEC starts to really shake its hammer. And when they do,
Yeah,
a lot of these crypto exchanges are going to either close up or they're going to lock out US customers. And you can ask anybody. All my business partners are very well aware of this, because it's basically the whole fundamental reason why we started Crow's Nest X and started on this whole mission. I honestly didn't expect it to happen so soon. I figured this might be something that would take place, maybe next year. I didn't see it coming this quickly, but I knew it was just a matter of time.
yeah.
And, Crow's Nest X is the whole idea behind it is to have, another option for traders that want to trade on a platform based in the US, focused on compliance and doing everything the right way with, government regulation as it comes. Because, look, a lot of these exchanges have made a lot of money and established a bit of a God complex when it comes to regulation and law. And, they're in a position where they're like, you know what, come get us.
Yeah.
And so with that mentality comes a lot of opportunity to screw people, in my opinion. And, I just felt like, look, and I'm not going to lie to you, this exchange has been one of the most stressful endeavors I've ever done. And in that, I have multiple lawyers. I have a team of people that are working on a lot of this stuff, and we're going through, like one of the things that we're doing is we're working on obtaining a no action letter from the SEC, because that's going to play a pretty significant role in which direction we go legally moving forward with what we're listing, right? And we have a lot of case law and a lot of case studies and things like that that are helping support our case, basically saying that because of our business model, that we're actually not an exchange, that we're more a software as a service, because we're through APIs and through basically modern technology, we're able to facilitate trades and custody, AML, KYC through nationally chartered banking institutions throughout the US that already have all this licensing. They have all of this foundation in place, which is enabling us to basically lean on them for a lot of these things, so that we don't have to continue reinventing the wheel. We're basically providing the software, and we're connecting our software to the systems that enable us to trade, right? And there's so much to this that I'll probably sound like a crazy man ranting, or but the idea is that, look, Bitcoin Cash, basically Litecoin, things that were forks of Bitcoin are technically, as I understand it, as I'm being told, really not considered securities. So because Bitcoin is not considered a security, pretty much anything forked off of it is not really considered a security unless they held an ICO. Now, if they held an ICO, then it's very likely they're considered a security.
Yeah.
And I talked to a lot of different crypto companies because there are a lot of companies that have come to me and said, hey, we really want to list with you. Yeah, that's cool. Do you have are you a utility token or a security? If you're a registered security, which 98% of the coins out there are not, they're all trying to say we're all utility tokens. But we held an ICO and we had public funding and we had this and that, which is only going to stem from speculative investments, right? Nobody's investing in an ICO really unless they expect to make a return on that investment. And so that creates this whole thing where unless you have a no action letter stating you are a utility token, I'm not going to trade you. I'm not going to list you unless you are a registered security with the SEC prior to your ICO, prior to all of these things happening. I'm not going to list you. And that is one of the reasons why we're seeing a lot of these overseas exchanges struggling. As I understand it, Bittrex basically suffered some penalty because they were trying to go after their broker-dealer license, and they were told no, because you are already trading unregistered securities on your exchange. You're not playing by our rules, so get the hell out of here.
Well, also too, I want to say that some of their KYC people, they had like people like Mickey Mouse and all kinds of weird shit on there, like, and they were just, the SEC was just like, no.
Yeah, and the AML KYC is one of the biggest issues in exchanges right now because the government wants to make sure you are who you say you are and that you are not laundering money or supporting terrorist activities, whatever. And
I don't even know why you would do. The funny thing about that is that I understand why they say that that's the case, but really, when it comes down to if I'm a terrorist or I'm trying to launder money, I'm sure shit not really going to be doing it through crypto, where you have this anonymous pseudo anonymity through the blockchain, and you can kind of be traced back. I mean, I'm going to use cash. I'm going to use cash for those things, right? I mean, it just, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of it. I understand why they want to do it, but I think mostly it's really, when it comes down to it, it's for taxes so they can get their piece.
Exactly.
Well, this is all going to look drastically different.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is going to look drastically different in 2 to 3 years than it does now. So I think, if you got to do what you have to do to, stay with the regulations and be as compliant as possible until we can get everything straightened out. Because, cryptocurrency and blockchain are going to be so big for, look at what Facebook is doing, obviously. We've got our own government coming out basically scared of Libra coin, after 2 days of them making an announcement. So, stuff regulation-wise is going to have to change. I think it'll be drastically different the way we do our taxes, the way these things are classified. I think eventually we'll have our own commission for, digital currencies that it may not even be.
And that's what we need.
Yeah,
100%. It needs to be its own thing.
Yeah.
Well, here, what I'm going to tell you guys, and this is my, I get a lot of weird gut feelings sometimes, and the sad truth of it is that the revolution of disruption that spawned all of us to kind of come together and study and educate ourselves about this new technology and this new era. To be quite frank, I feel a lot of this has been in the name of kind of flipping off the man, flipping off the system, the governments, the banking systems, and all of that. But the reality is that these organizations, these regulatory bodies, these governments have a hell of a lot more power. The only way that, even Bitcoin, let's just take Bitcoin, for example. The only way that Bitcoin is ever truly going to be that revolution against the system is going to be when people buy and pay for everything in crypto. When fiat currency is no longer even a concern, because that's where they get you. They get you when you decide, I want to cash out my Bitcoin or my whatever altcoin into cash to pay bills. Because you're not paying your bills in Bitcoin, you're paying your bills in fiat, because that's the system now.
It just comes down to demand. I mean,
that's how they maintain their control, and they will continue to maintain that control, because now they're forcing all of the exchanges that want to operate to US-based customers to basically say, okay, we want to know how many hairs are on the ass of every customer that does business on your exchange.
Exactly.
Exchange that wants to continue doing business in the US without 6 and 7 figure penalties or jail time is going to provide that information, me included. I'm not going to lie. If you're trying to launder money, don't even come to my exchange, because as soon as the SEC comes knocking on my door asking for shit, I'm handing the shit over. Don't do anything illegal and you got nothing to worry about. And that's the way I look at it. I have to pay my fucking taxes. Unfortunately, you do too. So it's just, it's the nature of, but the flip side of that is that, you know, provided you are doing everything in a legal manner, you still stand to gain significant amounts of wealth because we are at the forefront of this.
Right.
Regardless of how things change in the next 3 to 5 years, maybe we transition out of fiat and into a crypto-based economy. That'd be fantastic. And everybody that's sitting here watching this video right now stands to gain significantly in a way to change their life, not just today in their own life, but for generations to come. And so now is the time to take advantage of what's happening. Even if it doesn't work out the way the original dream, so to speak, was expected to work out, it's still going to benefit everybody that's paying attention right now.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think that you make good points there. You know, obviously power wants to always stay in power and to keep the control they have. But when you have, when the demand outweighs, you know, what the offering is, and we have access to it like this, where it's in a way where you can't necessarily censor it. You know, you can put regulations on the way maybe we trade, whatever, but people are always going to find ways around that. And in general, when it becomes big enough, it's just something you can't necessarily ignore. And I think we're definitely just barely on the cusp of that with Bitcoin. But look how much we've come in just 10 years. I mean, you can say, oh, well, it's not, and maybe it's not going to make this big of it's not making big of a difference. These people in power are going to stay in power. They're going to try and keep control. But we've made a large amount of difference just in 10 years in a lot of industries, and we're still just barely getting started. So, I mean, I'm right there with you. You know, we definitely still have to work within the confines of what's going on right now. But that doesn't mean that we can't still cry and push. I'm not cry, but like shout for, you know, for change through what we're doing. You know, I think that's an important thing to keep in mind, because this was a political movement. When Bitcoin was created, it was created because of a political unrest, because of the financial unrest that we had around the globe. And so I think that's an important thing to keep in consideration.
Well,
Either that or a cartel kingpin got really bored.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's actually
Why would you put that in the Genesis block? Why would you make it a political statement when you created it? Then you would just do it. You wouldn't put that in there. It wouldn't make any sense to do something like that.
Well, I'm pretty sure that that his whole life was based around just fucking authority. I mean,
well,
look
true.
at it.
Well,
I'm just guessing, but you know, the dude is in prison right now, and I do believe that guy did create Bitcoin. I really do.
I do too. I think it's the most likely.
Crazy, man. I broke that down on my channel too.
It's gotta be true.
Yeah,
because that's so crazy.
You can't make up.
I don't know. There's going to be some stuff coming out in the next couple months, I've been told. So we're gonna see.
Oh, Wendy's so connected. Oh, Wendy.
I hear stuff. I hear stuff.
I have a guy that's been messaging me, and apparently his friend or neighbor, he was trying to get him on my channel, and he sent me screenshots of the chat. And apparently it was like the third or fourth guy that was involved with the creation of Bitcoin. And you know, I was reading this thing that he sent me, which is this giant, I don't even know how many pages it was, but this guy's memoir from start to finish. So when they first started thinking about the idea of electronic money and just the forum, just everything, all the way to the end.
Yeah, I think that guy's a scammer. I think that guy's a scammer. Maybe, I don't know. Is it the guy? What's the guy's name?
Because it was mentioned in Craig Wright's latest court case.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you guys get the DM from somebody on Twitter that was saying that he DM'd me? He's all, what would you do if I told you that Eric Voorhees worked at NASA? And I was like, I'd probably believe you, whatever. And he's like, Eric Voorhees is Satoshi. I'm like, he's like, once this tweet gets 5,000 impressions, I'm going to release something. And I was like, okay, dude.
God, when he gets all the
we've
intel.
Seen that a bunch already. No one's released shit. This is what it comes down to. And until someone actually releases something, no one's releasing anything. And if anything, the proof and all these things is going to put on a CSW court case, dude.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to tell you that I have a really crazy theory that I have no way of proving. But, you know, one of the big things about cryptocurrency and blockchain technology is what? Artificial intelligence.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
And no, no, I'm telling you, if you look at like literally the inception of Bitcoin, if you were to put this shit on an algorithmic chart and you could almost set your watch to the ebbs and flows of the Bitcoin market overall, almost like its growth is set to a timer.
Well, I mean, it's mathematically, kind of mathematically is set to a timer if you want to look at it like that.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
true.
the whole way that the system was derived.
Yeah.
So,
right. And it's working. And if that shit, then we are going to see a freaking 7-figure Bitcoin at some point.
Yeah, for sure.
And like
people act like I'm crazy when I tell them that, but it's going to happen for sure. Like,
oh, for sure. People in crypto think you're crazy. If you tell it to a normie, someone who doesn't,
they think I'm insane. I'm like, Bitcoin will be at least $1 million one day, and they're like, oh yeah, right, it's 7,000 now. I'm like, if you are not in on crypto, like I know everybody watching this, like I'm preaching to the choir right now because like y'all are all in on this with us, But I mean, when you try to explain to people outside of crypto what's really going on, like the fact that Facebook is coming into crypto, Samsung is coming into crypto, all of these huge funds, these, capital companies, they're all coming into crypto. Their CEOs are coming to crypto. Like everything is naturally moving this way. And if you're not in it, you don't see it. And you just say, Bitcoin's a scam. I saw it on the news 2 years ago. They told me so.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
But I don't know if I'm down with the AI theory, though. Maybe the time traveler theory.
Can you imagine, like,
time traveler? Not that. Go ahead. Sorry, Wendy.
No, but can you imagine when one Bitcoin is worth $1 million? Can you imagine cashing that out? Like,
you won't.
Like how amazing it's going to
when
feel.
Bitcoin is worth $1 million, you'll no longer be cashing it out. That's the whole point.
It's just crazy, though. Well, I'm saying even using it to like pay with something, like going to your local coffee shop and using your wallet, using your Monarch wallet or whatever to go buy some.
Well, one Satoshi, one Satoshi will be like 1 penny.
1 penny.
It's gonna be crazy,
that's the number.
Though. Like
that's when the volatility slows down, I believe.
One Satoshi's 1 penny. So I mean, in general, I think that even when Bitcoin does get to like $1 million per coin, you're still going to see people trading. It's just going to be smaller values of Bitcoin.
It's crazy. Like it kind of just blowing my mind thinking about that. Like, because I've been accumulating over this bear market, like all the trades that I've taken, I've just been stacking sats. There was one time where I did cash out when we went from 3K to like 5K, I took some profits because I had to pay for something. But other than that, I've just been stacking Bitcoin. I've been stacking sats. I've been stacking Ethereum. I'm just like holding it and just keep continuing to flip alts just to make more Bitcoin and
dollar. I'm not a trader like you as much, so I do a couple of trades, but mostly dollar cost averaging right here. I just continually buy certain amounts of Bitcoin and sometimes altcoins depending on what my budget is that month, but consistently doing that every month, putting a little bit into it, a little bit into it, a little bit into it, no matter what the price really is. And over time doing that for over 2 years or so, you tend to get a nice little pile. And
well, that's what I've been doing. Like the companies that I work for, because there's 2 companies I work for, like doing marketing for them, like they pay me in Bitcoin and I've just been holding on to it. And then I also took my daughter's her college fund money. I took that when we were like around like 5K and I dumped it into Bitcoin and I got her a Bitcoin and it's just chilling and it's for when she's 18.
Yeah.
We might end up being at 10 grand before we end this live stream.
That's what the people are saying in the chat.
I said that before all these guys got on. I was like, hey man, that price is going. He's like, yeah, I might hit 10 grand. I might hit 10 grand while we're on the live stream.
Stache is going to owe me 10,000 IOST, I think, by the end of the night.
Shh. Don't say that. It's true. I bet BitBoy. We were gonna put it out like publicly. We kind of
we never forgot about it. We had the Bitcoin bin meetup.
It would go to. This was when it was still around like 4K or 4,500. I was like, it'll go below 3,800 before it hits 10K.
It was at 4,900 when we made the bet.
I'm easily gonna lose that bet. So
easily. Yeah. I've been trying to tell y'all. I've been trying to tell people since really early January that December was the bottom.
It was, and I just didn't. I thought we were gonna have one more leg back down. We were in
and I'll be the first to admit I was wrong. I really thought we were gonna hit 2K because the charts were looking like shit. They were looking.
And who told both of you were wrong?
Hey, big boy, yeah, I'll give it to you, buddy.
Thank you.
Did it.
And you know what? That's part of it is like trading in TA. It's never 100% accurate. Yeah. You're never going to be 100% accurate. I've made a lot of really, really, really good calls, and I made a couple complete garbage calls, and that was one of my garbage
calls. My truck for one Bitcoin.
Well, the number one reason why I never believed it was really going to get below 3,000 was because everyone thought it was going to go below 3,000. You know, like we heard it
Right.
from.
I just said before you came on.
Yeah.
Whatever everybody thinks, the opposite happened.
Exactly. So, like, you know, our good friend Crypto Sandy, you know, he kept saying, like, I got all these buy orders for 3,000. I've been telling him for months and months and months, you're never going to get them because it got look how close it got. It got down to 3,150. Everybody had those buy orders set at 3,000. Never going to touch it. You know?
Wait, you guys, really quick. Rolex23 says, can you please say hi to Crow and BitBoy from me, please?
What? No love for Stash.
Dude, Rolex is my boy, dude.
And then
23 went to Wendy's channel tonight. I see how it is.
Oh, don't worry. He dropped me a super chat. Come on now.
Oh gosh,
dude just throws money all over YouTube.
He does. I love that guy.
I love him. Yeah, Rolex23, you come back to my channel anytime you want. And then also too, somebody said, Outdoors Inspired said, anyone here into crypto?
Yeah, I had a couple of those questions. It's because I said, well, I'm sure all the people that are watching, like, they're in on crypto too, obviously. And then I got some of those comments on mine too. Like, what's my wife actually made a comment, Mom of Wild Thing. She said, "What's crypto?" Yeah, thanks, son.
She probably trolls you so hard.
She does.
Well,
She's
I have
such a
to
troll.
answer a question from Tim Lund. He said, Crow, do you dye your beard? No, it changes colors from white to really dark brown, just depending on how long I'm in the sun.
It's dependent on your mood. It is a mood beard.
Yes, it's a mood beard,
right? Yeah.
When I feel young, it's dark brown. When I feel old as shit, it's white. Like freaking. Actually, no, I don't dye my beard. My wife dyes my beard.
Sexy.
So she got tired of me bitching about the fact that I'm getting older. Every time I look in the mirror, I'm like, I can't believe my shit's turning white. I'm not this old. What the hell's happening? Finally, she got so tired of me bitching about it that she bought me a bottle of dye. She dyes her hair jet black.
Yeah.
And she got me a bottle. She said, we're going to dye that shit. Oh my God, I hate it because it smells so bad. You can't breathe. It's terrible.
What a baby.
I know. I am. I'm a big baby.
I'm just gonna let mine go gray when it happens, man. I'm already starting to get a little on the side.
Say that now, motherfucker.
Look at this. Look, guys, look at this right here. Look at that. Sometimes in my video, it's transparent in my green screen. You can see right through my neck.
I have it all of complexion. You're so damn white, you can't tell where the white in that beard starts in your face.
Hey now.
It
Hey now.
blends in.
Hey now. Hey, that was pre-live talk. Okay, you don't be dropping dimes about my paleness right now. I can't help it.
His face blends into the moon background, so his eyes just look like craters with little eyeballs.
I got the red beard though. The red.
You know, when you get to the moon, he's turning into the moon.
You can be the moon for Halloween at WCC.
Yo, it won't be as good as my old costume though. Is my last costume.
To switch it back up, so just to kind of go back to the exchange thing. So we were here talking about Crow's exchange because we're all going on this trip, minus Crow, unfortunately, but the Crypto Bit Bus, we're taking a trip from LA on this bus with a bunch, like 45 other crypto enthusiasts, and we're going up to San Francisco for the Bitcoin 2019 conference. And Crow's Nest Exchange was one of our gracious sponsors. So we definitely just, want to thank you for that, man.
Honestly, my buddy, my good friend of mine, and he's one of my partners in the exchange, and a lot of you guys know is Crypto Rusty.
Yeah, Rusty, man. Great guy.
Best fucking dudes on the planet. He is the most selfless, nicest, sweetest dude. I mean, Rusty is early on, man, he used to follow my channel, and in the big bull market, I had there's Rolex 23. It's like he tips $10 just to say hello. It's like this guy, he's got too much. I tell him all the time, stop tipping me in my damn channel. Give it to charity. Hi everyone. Hi Jason. I don't forget about you. I mean, the guy's a trip. We're gonna have to find out who this guy is at a convention at one of these.
We need to. You have to show yourself, Rolex.
Yeah, for real.
No, he's the one with multiple
the one with the
Rolexes
Rolex. Yeah,
wrist. That's gonna be. He's
got a Rolex headband.
Or something. It's a Rolex wholesaler or some shit.
Yeah, you just got to go with them.
Yeah. No, but Rusty's one of those guys where I used to get so many people, and if I had the sniffles, I'd have 75 different home remedies for whatever kind of illness I had on channel, right? And Rusty was one of those guys that he was one of them. Hey man, you need to try this. You should do that. Whether the testosterone thing or whatever it was, Rusty always had a cure. And he just kind of fell in with like the million others. And I never paid much attention until one day I had legit vertigo. I could not get up and walk straight to the bathroom. It's like, dude, the day I turned 40, my body just said, fuck you, man. Like, seriously, I turned 40 years old and I don't know what the hell happened. And so
menopause.
Exactly. And the long and short of it is like I started talking to him and he's like, man, I'm a pharmacist and this is what I do, you know, give this a shot. And then we just got started talking and then I helped him with his NASCAR stuff. He's like, hey man, I just bought like 25 cars with NASCAR and I want to sell them for crypto and you know the sponsorships and such. And so we made a business deal and I helped him do that. And I said, hey, I'll help you sell all these. I'll help you find good companies to do it with. And we basically made a deal that I would get a cut. He'd buy me a Bentley. And I helped him sell little over 80%. I would say 90% of all the sponsorships he had available. And that's how I got my AMG. Like he stuck to his word and hooked it up. You know what I mean? But he's just, he was the first guy. Like honestly, when I'm down, you know, like I kind of broke down to my wife a little bit today, to be real honest, just because I've been under so much pressure and I have no release for any of it. And I have so many people that I'm trying to help, and there's so many people helping me, and there's just so much going on around me constantly. And with the market the way it is, and just everything the way it is, it's like super fucking stressful.
I feel you, man.
I haven't had a drink in like 2-3 weeks, and I'm like, I had to have a drink tonight, whether I was going to be online or not. And you know, Rusty is that guy that like we call each other when we're having a bad day, and you know, and we talk each other down, and we just help each other. And like, you know, he was the first person to support me in this whole Crow's Nest X idea. And then he brought other people in who are equally great. You know, a lot of the business partners that I have in this exchange are like solid, good, decent, very, very, very successful people that understand why I'm trying to do this, and they just want to be involved. And they're helping in every way they can. Hell, one of my business partners said, hey man, I got a private jet. If you're trying to get an interview on like Joe Rogan or any of these other channels and you need something to push them over the edge, tell them we'll trade them private jet time. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, who does that shit?
Hey, it's great to have good partners, man. I mean, you know, in business in general, you know, I being an entrepreneur myself, I've always struggled trying to find like really good, high quality partners, someone that I can rely on, depend on, somebody who is not only, you know, a partner, but also a friend and has the same kind of vision, right? That's a hard thing to do, man. So when you find that, it's important to be able to keep that and to foster those relationships. So, I mean, what you have is awesome, dude. I'm jealous. I want some of that. I need some of that partner love.
I honestly feel like too with crypto, I feel like there's a lot of crazy fucking people in crypto, but there's really good people in crypto, and the people that I've been able to make up. Obviously, like I get trolled online like nobody's business. You just hashtag crypto.
It's actually all my alt accounts going after you.
You at me, and people just completely shit for whatever reason, because I'm a woman, because I trade, because of God knows what. But the people that I have met and the people I've built relationships with, you guys included, like you guys have my back, and it's fucking amazing. Like, and all the other drama, all the bullshit doesn't matter. Like, I have met amazing.
Who's trolling you?
Huh?
Who's trolling you?
Oh my God!
Half of Twitter.
Those dicks or what?
Yeah.
I think they're mad because they can't smash.
Oh, whoa. or they're mad that they've never smashed. Maybe.
Exactly. They've never smashed.
Incel Central.
Right there,
Incel Central.
Women do have multiple purposes. More than just eye candy.
Oh God! If you try to say anything positive about women on Twitter, like you can just say something like very small, like, "Oh yeah, I support what Wendy's doing." They're like, "Social justice warrior over here, white knight, SJW." And it's like, guys, can we just all get along? We're all humans. You know what I mean? Like, I don't.
Just because
I've never
Bob's,
understood that.
Just because I have Bob's, I'm still a person. You know.
Yeah, I you know, and that honestly, that's a shame, because that may very well be what keeps some of the women in crypto out, you know, or at least silent about their involvement. And it's because we've got a lot of young, angry kids who were raised with no accountability now, that are basically in charge of our future at this point. You know, like a lot of what I see, a lot of the angry people who are running around, they have the time to troll other people online. They're just like, how do I even put that into words? Like,
they're children.
because most of them are going nowhere and they know it.
Yeah.
Well, I reported on a story that they're talking about there's a lot less women in crypto compared to other tech industries, like even lower before. And like on GitHub, there's a lot of developers, like people that are inputting code that aren't specifying what their gender is. And I actually know a few female devs that on LinkedIn, they just put that they're men and they get jobs that way as opposed to putting their women. Because when they said that when they put themselves, they advertised that they were women, they wouldn't get hired for as many jobs.
Yeah, that's just crazy. I mean, if you have the skills, in particular when it comes down to coding and to some of those things where it doesn't matter if you're a man or it doesn't matter who that you could be an octopus if you can code and it's well. Like, I mean,
you could actually get 8 times the work done or 4 times the work done.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Well, my whole thing is like, if you want to troll me online, that's fine. I've yet to have anybody say it to my face.
Yeah.
That's what I live by.
Yeah.
Don't say anything to anybody you won't say to them right into their face.
Me too, man. Yeah.
But I mean, that's what they get off on.
Useless.
That's what these people get off on. They get off on being able to say things from accounts that they have no accountability or responsibility for what they say, and that they'll never, if you do meet them in person, guess what? They're not going to claim to be that person. They're going to, just going to be like, oh, nice to meet you. So I'm pretty confrontational in real life. So, come at me, bros. That's all I got to say.
I'm not really confrontational. I used to be a real hothead. Now you got to push me so far, but if somebody pushes me far enough, I'll definitely put them in check if I need to. But I prefer not to. And I was actually just watching George St. Pierre, UFC former welterweight champion. I was watching his like story, and his whole story was so similar to mine. Like, he grew up, he was bullied. His parents put him into karate at a young age to try and teach him discipline and self-respect and all this other stuff. Everything was identical until the one thing that what had happened is he ended up moving away and he found the UFC and he did obviously very, very well. And he had basically had to fight all of his demons, which is, one of the reasons why I fought in MMA, because I was fighting this small place in my head. It's like, when you get into a fight on the street and it's all impromptu, some guy's being an ass and he puts his hands on you or whatever, you knock him out, you go home, and it's like, it's all quick. It's all easy. You're not even thinking about it. Right. Yeah. But it's like when you're standing and you've got weeks to think about a guy that's training to bust your ass and the fact that there's nowhere to run, all eyes are on you. It's a whole other level of pressure. And, he did exceedingly well. And what had happened was he became a champion and all that. One of the main kid that bullied him through school, as I guess George was driving through like his old neighborhood or whatever, and he saw this homeless man sitting there with a sign, turned out to be the kid that bullied the shit out of him. And
Karma,
George, he pulled up.
Karma.
Talked to the guy. Exactly. Well, that's the thing. It's a mentality. People with a mentality of bullying other people or, insulting other people at random or just trying to fuel like these little energy vampires. It's like they never truly ever amount to shit. And the only thing is that keeps them going or gives them satisfaction is at least feeling a connection to somebody they perceive as being bigger and better than themselves.
Yeah.
It's like, when I was in the music business or when I was any business I'm in, I always tell everybody, you're always campaigning for president. You're trying to campaign. You're trying to get people to connect with you, to resonate with you, so forth and so on. And, the opposite of popularity is trolling. You get people who see you as a threat. They see you as something they wish they could become. They know they can't. They have this inherent void in themselves that they then try to fill by bringing you down. And if they can do it anonymously without any recourse, all the better. And that's where all the cowards in the world are. They're all hanging around on Twitter waiting to fuck with people.
Well, it's funny because my husband and I were actually talking about this earlier. We're talking about the internet. The internet is an amazing thing, but it's also, I think, like as far as invention wise, it's also scary and dangerous because right when the internet came about, all these people got power. And it's like when you used to hang out with people growing up, you're like, okay, this person's cool, whatever. And you know, when you meet somebody in person, you're polite, you were brought up to be respectful and polite, and not always to say everything you had on your mind. But on the internet, that allows people to bring that out and act however the fuck they want to act without repercussion, because there's no one going to be out. There's not like you could come through that screen and like do whatever you have to do. So that's
Well,
Adam R. He just sounds like somebody's talking about Craig Wright.
No, you're right, because, you know, back in the day before the internet, you know, the bullies a lot of times were like the kids that were like the big dude or the big, you know, kid on the playground, or, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like
yes and no, because
skinny.
when I was growing up too, I got the shit bullied out of me because I was different than a lot of the other kids. For whatever it was, I was brought up differently. My mom was, you know, my family was different. So I was brought up differently. I was very outspoken. I was very open-minded, and I just had a hard time growing up and whatnot. So it's not always the big motherfuckers that are going to come for you, because girls are bitches too, and they're not always nice.
Yeah, I guess that's true. On the other side, you're right. I think it may be time. I mean, like when you're talking about like men, it's maybe like they're a lot of times they're like the bigger bullies, you know. But women, it's a little bit more like they're kind of cliquey about it, right?
Well, even too, like I've had issues with certain types of men also too. So it's not always the big guys that you think that are gonna act like bullies. Sometimes it's just ones that are they're got some shit inside and they're just not the nicest. So
yeah,
little man syndrome.
Yeah, that too.
A bar once, so it's not always the big guys; it's just the drunk and stupid ones.
Well, guys, just wait though. This isn't going to be an issue too much longer as we get our social scores. So social scores will be a real thing in the future, 100%. About 20 years from now,
they're already doing it in China.
They're already doing it in China.
Yeah, they like scan your face and they're like, oh, this person's jaywalking, I'm giving you a ding, and they give you a ding. Sometimes they won't even let you on the airport.
This person's bullying someone on the internet. Oh, ding.
You bought too much alcohol. Oh, you bought 5 bottles. Oh, we're lowering your score.
I don't know if you guys have seen.
There's a freaking show about that on Netflix.
Nosedive.
Those your own adventure shows.
Are you talking about Black Mirror? The Black Mirror episode? There's a Black Mirror episode called Nosedive, and it is our future, 100%. You guys, if you've not watched that episode of Black Mirror,
one where everybody's like, "Hey, I brought you cookies," and then somebody's like,
everybody's fake.
Their app and shit?
Everybody's fake. You know, because everybody all the time, every single interaction people have in the back of their mind, it's, I need to keep my social. We already see it with Uber. You already see it with Uber. Yeah. I got into an Uber the other day with a guy, and he said, "Oh man, you know, I got to stop and get gas on the way. You know, I didn't know how far this was going to be." And I said, "Man, I'm gonna have to ding you 2 stars on that." I was totally kidding, you know. I was like, "I'm gonna have to ding you 2 stars," and he didn't really know how to take it. Like, he looked at me like, "Are you serious?" And I was like, "Nah, man, I'm just playing, dude. You got 5 stars on lock or whatever." But he was really scared. I mean, because that score will affect the way you're able to make money, and that's going to be a real thing. They're already doing it in China. In China, it's all, you know, not underground. The government is doing it, and they're keeping your social scores. It won't be long before that is linked to who, you know, outside of that, to like a Yelp review. You can go to a website and see what everybody's scores are. And with
it's just, it's a next level evolution. We're already doing with that with like credit scores, and so you have these combined kind of scores. So there's a lot of things you can't get if you just don't have the right kind of credit score. And so this takes it 20 steps beyond that, where it's now, you know, analyzing every single action that you're making, every single interaction you have with other people. You know, and so that is
me personally, when I found out that Libra coin was coming, I was like, this is like apocalyptic shit right here, because they're going to be tracking everything, and I think that's going to be.
They already do.
I'm a huge fan.
But now, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I didn't get a chance to read the white paper, but aren't they using the blockchain to kind of keep track of everything?
Well, that's the thing. So, like, you know, they're essentially going to be, you know, that data still for any payments you make is still going to be their data. They're going to be able to censor you if they don't want to. So if they don't want to offer Facebook coin, or Libra coin to some country, they can just block up and say no. And so that, once again, it doesn't have that censorship resistant aspect to it. And they're still going to have all of your data. I mean, they're still going to be able to sell that or do whatever.
But it's not supposed to be linked to your person. So
it'll be anonymous data, but that's just like what Google's doing right now too. Like all these companies,
it is linked to your person because it's linked to your Facebook account.
No, but it's yes and no. Like your wallet itself is going to be on the blockchain. Like, we can kind of read between the lines being in this business for a while and understand like kind of probably how they're going to do it. But technically, according to their white paper and stuff, your identity and your account are going to be separate from your wallet.
Right.
So there's supposed to be some kind of mechanism where, you know, you can send someone a payment through Messenger from your wallet, but somehow it's supposed to be shielded from anyone to see from the outside. Now, we all kind of understand where this is going with the privacy and Facebook concerns, but I'll be honest with you guys, like after really looking at LibraCoin a good bit, I'm pretty excited about it. I think it could actually, it's going to help Bitcoin a lot. If you're a big fan of XRP.
Are they already paying you? Are they already paying you, Bitcoin?
No. There's no, listen,
are you shilling for them already?
there's no downside to it for Bitcoin. There's no downside.
No, you're right. It's definitely
It's
good
a win-win.
thing for Bitcoin,
If it becomes centralized and they're stealing all your data, that's a win for Bitcoin. If it
Yeah.
does well and it's a way that people that are unbanked can become banked and spend crypto and make crypto more of the mainstream, and governments and banks are scared of it, also a win for Bitcoin. So I really don't see a downside. No matter how this turns out, it's going to be good for crypto.
It's a double-edged sword, in my opinion. I mean, there are downsides and there's lots of upsides too. So it's
Hey guys, I don't mean to interrupt, but I think Bitcoin is going to break 10K.
Yeah, it
because
is.
we're at.
Do you know why? Do you know why it's going to happen? Because we're live streaming right now.
Because it's us. We're live streaming. Yeah. No, but I'm looking at the chart. Can I just go over it really quick? Because I had someone ask.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, I'm not going to pull the chart up, guys, but I'm just going to kind of go through what I'm seeing. So I'm on the weekly, and we're looking to get a bull cross on the Stoch. It's not 100%. It's not 100% that it's going to happen. It will, and also this is a lagging indicator. But both of our MAs, the MA9 and SMA20, is completely running. So weekly looks amazing to me. And then I'm looking at the daily. Daily is running. Stoch is in overbought right now, but we still have room to run up. We are slightly pinching on the upper Bollinger Band, but I think that's okay. 4 hour is running, but it's starting to look a little weak as we're starting to get a little cross there at the top, and hour is running. I think that we are going to hit, definitely, I think we're going to hit 10K by the end of the week. By the end,
40,000 by tomorrow.
Yeah,
that's what I said.
I think
it'll hit 10 grand in the middle of the night, and then the Chinese are going to dump on us.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Run it up and then dump it. When we wake up in the morning, there it is.
They're on to our social scores. Let's dump it.
Make sure you get those sell orders in, guys. Get those sell orders. Take those profits at 10K.
Yeah, we're running though. It's only a matter of time before we hit 10K, and that'll be freaking awesome.
Old Satoshi Sean wanted to tell everybody hi, and he's saying he just shorted Bitcoin 25x leverage. So we'll see how that works out for him.
Oh no.
You just ruined the flow, bro.
Any of that leverage bullshit. Bitcoin's got a mind of its own, man. I don't care how confident you are.
Well, they say leverage trading is how, you know, a lot of younger people became rich, the richest, the quickest during the last bull run. So if you're looking for that get rich quick scheme.
Everyone else got the poorest, the fastest.
No, you know what?
It's true. It's true.
Let me talk about leverage trading. Leverage trading has a really, really bad rap, but that's because people over trade. They're taking too many trades.
They're over leveraged.
And they're over leveraging too. If you do it on like when I leverage trade, sometimes the max I'll go is like 10 if I'm feeling like a real degenerate. But I generally don't go that high, and I like to get in longer term positions, or I'm scalping and I'm in and out of positions like super fast.
Yeah.
So and also too, people forget what investing means. When you invest in something, you're not guaranteed to get your money back. So don't be putting your rent or your phone bill or whatever the hell in there.
It's the same with anything else, man. People take out like 10 credit cards and they use one credit card to pay out the other credit card to pay out the other credit card. Like, what are you doing? No.
We don't live your best life and make wise choices. We don't have to.
Yeah, I mean, don't live off of credit like that. I mean, you know, leverage trading can be great if you're doing it in moderation, just like any other kind of credit, right? And make sure that you have some sort of plan. But we get people who are just really bad with money management in general, and they do things like that. We're like, I'm going, 50x on it, and then they get their position called, and they're just like, I don't know, what do I do? That was my rent money. You're just like, come on, man.
Has anybody checked the order book to see how many sell orders are sitting at 10 grand?
I haven't checked longs or shorts.
I'm not sure if it'd be a lot or not. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot, but.
It's those fat round numbers that always the dumps.
10 grand is one of those ones where people are just like, I'm sick of it, because it's a psychological thing, man. It's a psychological thing.
Yeah, I mean, if you bought it 3,200, I mean, 10's feeling pretty good,
We're not planning on doing any leverage trading at Crow's Nest either.
Well, it's not legal, is it?
I don't think it is, but I wouldn't do it if it was, personally. just too easy for new. I know that a big part of my fan base and a lot of people that really dig me are like newcomers. I kind of break things down in a way that like a caveman can understand because I'm half caveman. And so, leverage trading is just one of those things that I don't touch it. I wouldn't touch it. And so I don't see any point in having it on the exchange. I mean, I know that, some of those exchanges that offer it do really well with it, but because it doesn't matter who's losing their ass, they're still making money off of it.
But you are going to have your own coin though, right? You're still going with the Crow coin, right? For the exchange coin?
Yeah, we're gonna have the Crow coin finally. But I think we're actually, my lawyers and everybody have convinced me to do an STO. And it's going to be private. It's not going to be like it's going to be a private STO for accredited investors.
Oh
no, I think that's the way to go though, because STO, like I thought that STOs were going to really take off this season, but I feel like IEOs are doing that, and I feel that's because STOs take a lot more regulation and they take a lot more time to get set up correctly. So I think that's the correct way to go. 100%.
I think an STO is the correct way to go. And I think this IEO bullshit that's going on with all the wash trading, making people think that this project sold X number of coins when they really didn't. I think it's all a big sham. And I'm not playing any role in that. So, you see some of these IEOs, an IEO in a bear market sold $20 million worth of coins at IEO in 20 minutes. My ass. When you look at the volume going on across the board, the volume's so low you couldn't sell a fart in the wind. And this company managed to get 20 million. I mean, and you keep seeing these stories, and it's all because these exchanges are able to wash trade the volume of these IEOs up to make them look more prestigious and make them look more important. And they're trying to create this sense of FOMO in a bear market where there's just not a lot of capital floating around making these kinds of buys.
And they've done that. I mean, you see like Matic, you see like Chain, a couple of these other ones.
BitTorrent,
what was the newest one? Harmony.
Right? I don't know. I think they're okay. I mean, some of them are definitely money grabs, but if you look at something like Harmony and you look at something like BitTorrent, like those are the two big ones that I heard about. As soon as they got launched, I made a bunch of money doing, trading it, scalping and stuff like that. Those were two coins that had a lot of hype, and we don't have ICOs really anymore. Like I used to get 10 ICO requests on my channel every day for people saying, review this,
none now.
Review this ICO. It's none. For the first time in like months, I had somebody the other day ask me to review an ICO. I was like, well, I won't review an ICO, but just the fact that somebody requested one, like I was surprised. So what we're doing is you've got all these people that want to speculatively invest in smaller projects that, haven't really, they haven't made far up CoinMarketCap yet. And basically these exchanges are saying, and of course by these exchanges, I mean, Bitfinex, Huobi, Binance, your bigger exchanges, they're saying, okay, we're not going to push very many projects. Very, very few, like maybe one a month. And this is the one this month. And so it's a way of these exchanges communicating to people that this is a legit project. And then when you get a lot of these projects working with, YouTubers or whatever to get their message out, and you got like Harmony had Charles Hoskinson came out and said, oh, I actually think this is going to be a good project. Then there's just like there's not a lot of places for people's money to go right now in highly speculative investment. So I feel like that's why some of these are going to do well. I think almost all the Binance IEOs so far, I think they're all going to do well. I think we'll all see them on the top 100 of CoinMarketCap.
They already are doing well.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that there's anything necessarily bad about them, but the IEO thing has definitely been an up and coming thing that we've seen here with exchanges, and wash trading is definitely an issue there. Now, is it happening on places like Binance, or it probably is? Yeah. But I think also the excitement and the interest is there as well. I mean, I definitely do see the interest being there. So I don't think it's all just.
I gotta disagree with all of you. I'm sorry, but I have to just flat out disagree, because I think the whole thing is a big charade, and I think that a lot. These guys are trying to inspire FOMO into a public that has been scared shitless out of crypto, and they're holding on to their fiat cash and they're waiting for some true definitive signals before they put their money back into Bitcoin or anything else. And they're starting to get more comfortable. The higher we go, the more people are realizing this isn't dead, this isn't going anywhere. But if you want me to believe that $20 million plus or $30 million is going into an IEO, like, I just don't buy it. And you guys should know based off of the number of emails you get from these projects, if there's interest. These companies that are facilitating these IEOs and ICOs and all this shit, they know when the market's hot. You guys know when the market's hot. You can tell by looking at your channel analytics. When the market's hot, we get a shit ton of views. When the market's not, we don't. And that's just the nature of the beast. And if the eyeballs aren't here, where are these people coming from that are apparently pumping all this money into these stupid IEOs that nobody really cares about?
Well, I think you're like they're not new people. They're not new people that are getting into these coins. It's people like us. It's people that are into crypto already and know about these projects and understand. We haven't obviously been burnt by crypto. We have to some extent. All of us lost money in 2018, of course, but we're all still here. And so we're the kind of people that they're trying to appeal to. They're not trying to appeal to someone new who's coming into the space that this is your first buy. Buy Matic, as an IEO, or buy BitTorrent is your very first crypto that you're going to buy.
And so we're not getting that same exposure. And so,
What is that?
Group thing.
What is it?
If you want.
Is that the wife?
Yeah, my wife just came home from this charity thing. She brought me a chocolate couch.
Aww.
This is actually
Howdy.
really cute.
Hey, how
Good
are
to see you.
Myself. I'm like, where am I?
you're down there because they're on their own.
You're in there.
Cute little chocolate couch though.
Oh my
nice.
God, that's so cute.
Yeah.
They're cute.
I'd eat that right now.
I know. I have a dip in, so.
Oh, I probably don't want that chocolate dip.
No.
Yeah.
But the whole thing is I think that people still you're right, that are in the industry want something to invest in that maybe is a little bit more speculative. And then the problem is that the STOs are actually something that is very interesting to me and I'm okay with. But once again, it's that mentality that you need to be an accredited investor though to be a part of this. If they open that up to non-accredited investors and it was an STO, then that would make a lot of sense to me. And I think that would be the direction everyone would want to flood, especially in the United States, because they know that's regulatory compliant.
Yeah, and another thing about the IEOs, while they're not necessarily regulatory compliant, there is safety in the fact that if you buy something through a token sale on an exchange, knowing that it's going to be on an exchange. And even if you lose 40% of your money, you're going to be able to get your money back. We all know, how many worthless tokens do we all have? Probably between all of us, probably $1 million worth at least of tokens that will never be worth a dime. That people actually invested money into those tokens and will never get it back. With the IEOs, you at least have the safety net of, even if the price drops 60%, worst case scenario, I can still get out of it and have some money or wait it out to see if the price will go back up.
Unless it gets delisted.
Yeah, but that's kind of what you're hoping. That's what the IEO is supposed to do. Is that the exchange is giving you confidence by being the one that's listing them. So if they do an IEO for a coin and then 6 months later decide to delist
exactly,
that's screwed.
Yes.
I'd be pretty pissed at an exchange coin like an IEO if that happened, because basically what's saying is they're saying that we're whitelisting this product. We've done our due diligence. This is not something that is a fly-by-night thing where it's going to be on our exchange for a little while and then we're going to delist it. It's not a salt or these other coins where it's just they've been here, people pumped them, and then now they're getting delisted.
Look, I'm going to tell you straight up: don't grow too attached to these IEOs because I don't see those lasting very long either.
You know what? I'm gonna say something. So me personally, because I trade to accumulate Bitcoin. I don't give a shit about majority of these coins. I enjoy trading them. Some projects I do like. There's a couple projects I represent and that I like and I support. Very, very, very few. But I trade shit coins to accumulate more Bitcoin.
Right.
That is it.
That's why I do bot trading. It's the same thing.
Yeah, maybe I'll keep a moon bag of something after I've gone, I own it free and clear. But I'm swinging. I've just been. One of the things the bear market taught me is to completely swing and just swing these coins, make profit. If it's 10%, whatever it is, make that profit and then flip it into Bitcoin, invest, and just keep doing it over and over again and not getting attached to bags. Because the people that are getting attached to bags, that is how you get wrecked. You're going to hold on to it. And
there's a lot of swingers in crypto, I know. So,
well, you know what I mean.
The undertones.
I think when a company does an ICO, to me, that's more trustworthy. You don't have the luxury of having a built-in exchange listing.
An
but
ICO? You think when
also
someone does an ICO, it's more
I
trustworthy?
disagree with you, Crow.
Yes, because with an ICO, the public is dictating what's popular and what's not. You don't have to worry about exchanges wash trading it, fluffing the whole fucking thing and making it look like something it isn't. And that to me, that's the difference. I'm not saying that every ICO is great by any stretch, but I think that if I were to, I would much rather investigate the team, do my own research, and especially if I'm buying into an ICO with pure speculation in mind, I'm going to trust the popularity of an ICO and the marketing and looking at that blockchain and looking to see how much they've sold, knowing where they're at, than trusting all the wash trading methods on a freaking exchange.
You should still do that even if you're investing in an IEO. I mean, we're not saying just blindly trust the exchanges. You need to be doing your research, and even though they're the exchanges saying,
but everything you read is, if they're on this exchange, I trust them, because why would this exchange put their
that's a bad attitude no matter how you approach it. Even if you're looking at STOs too, I would never trust any investment unless I'm doing my own research into it. And that's why I tell everybody on my channel, make sure you don't just trust what I'm saying. Don't trust what Crow is saying or BitBoy or what the exchange like Binance is saying. Verify those things. Go and do your own research. Don't just jump into it. And it doesn't matter how they're offering it. I mean, you're right. I think a lot of people do get that illusion that, if Binance is offering it, I trust Binance, so I trust this. I mean, that's a bad. That's a chain we already have right now. That's a system we already have right now, where we're just giving blind trust to third parties who are just taking that trust and screwing us over time and time again.
Well, I'll say this. There's two projects that got launched on Binance that I took part in, BitTorrent and Harmony. They were both ranked extremely high on the hype meter. And I knew as soon as those got listed, it was going to be an easy money-making opportunity. And for both of those, it was true. So you just got to pay attention to the hype. I mean, the hype, yes, it may seem like it's like, hot air or whatever. When everybody's talking about a project, guess what? There's going to be a lot of people run out to buy that project. So, I think just be smart. There's a lot of really good money-making opportunities with those IEOs by scalping. Yeah. If you're into scalp, I don't scalp. I've never scalped before, but I will scalp the crap out of an IEO. I mean, I quadrupled my money in an hour, on Harmony. So, you just got to pay attention to what's going on. And I hear you with the wash trading and stuff like that, but I always feel like the wash trading is kind of, in a lot of ways, equaled out by the over-the-counter trading that goes on. I mean, there's, like we all know during the bear market, there was a lot more trading going on over-the-counter that did not count on exchanges.
There's probably some truth to that, but I've never even thought of it.
I've thought it for a while. They kind of balance each other out. The actual real volume that's being traded is much higher than what we're seeing. So I mean, the sketchy exchanges are adding stuff in. Definitely doing a lot of wash trading. But when you look at your more reputable exchanges, I think that they do even out. So.
Yeah, no, I think you make a good point in that, man. And, like I said, it's, even though I have faith in Binance and the coins they're putting out there, I'm not going to just go blindly buy one of their latest IEOs because it's on Binance. Right. I'm still going to do my research, and I think that you're right. There's been a lot of OTC trading out there and that's not getting on the books. And so it may even out there. I think that there's still, some things going on there, wash trading wise, that you still want to be wary of because especially for some of these newer projects that are coming out like this, because, the OTC trading market, usually that's for, it's not as much for a coin that has not been already actively traded, I think a lot of times. Unless they did a private sale ahead of time, which happens a lot with, in particular with the STO, they've done a private sale ahead of time that I could see where there would already be active OTC trading going on at the time of an exchange launch. But for a lot of these IEOs, that's not the case. So
their OTC trading is yet to come.
So, but Brian wants to know what's everybody's number one altcoin. What's your number one altcoin pick right now?
BAT.
Ooh, that's good.
I dig it.
My number one.
Boy, what is it?
IOST. Everybody knows that. Stash, you really just sold us out right there.
IOST is number two, man.
I love BAT. I do love BAT.
Product is well more developed.
Yes, I agree.
I love IOST what they're doing, but BAT is they just have a lot more of time in the project. They've got a lot more product out there. IOST, I think, is a sleeper coin, man, and it's definitely one of my favorite, other alternative coins. I would say probably my number two.
You guys remember that when you vote on your tiers this month. Sorry.
Hey, I'm coming to tier number two, buddy. I'm moving up a tier. So
but
you got nowhere to go. You've hit the ceiling.
I like base.
So my favorite, well, okay, so I've actually really enjoyed swinging trading Raven recently. I don't really care too much.
Not swing trades, not scalp trades. What's the altcoin that is your favorite hold?
Your bag. What's your favorite holding bag? Yeah.
Well, it's a company that I work for is for Monetary Unit.
Oh, it's Mew.
It's from Mew. It's an old school coin, and the fundamentals behind what we're doing as far as mass adoption goes is the real deal. So
I got that Mew in my wallet.
Bias pick. What's everybody's non-biased pick?
Well, I am going to be biased.
Non-biased pick.
We have a freaking marketplace that accepts crypto. We give people 20% off their purchases if they use our token. We accept Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and Digibyte and Monetary Units. So we actually have a real use case, like a real utility.
I think when you get into kind of the layers of crypto by being, whether you call us content creators or influencers, cringe or whatever, I
am media, okay, sir. I am media.
Media, whatever you want, marketing, whatever you want to call it. We all just have had some really cool opportunities to work with some really cool projects. And, you get to see the things about your project that you really, really like more than other projects. I mean, with IOST, if you vote for my node, you get 32% gains immediately just by, over 1 year, just by voting. Like, people don't understand a lot of these projects and the things they have to offer. So, like when he's talking about what Mew is doing for, adoption, IOST is a great way to make gains by doing nothing, but basically staking your coins. And
highest staking rewards.
Highest staking rewards. Go to stakingrewards.com. IOST is number one by a long shot, but most people don't know it because it's like 63 on CoinMarketCap, right now. So, like I said, we just all learn different things about these projects that we get involved about and we get passionate about. I mean, it would be really easy for us all to sit up here and be like, Cardano, Tron, Stellar, those are all great projects that are going to do well.
My number one before anybody.
I knew he was going to say Cardano.
I said Cardano because I know it's your number one, and it has been for a long time.
Exactly. So. I was talking about Cardano before anybody was talking about Cardano. To my knowledge at the time. I mean, so I don't feel like I'm jumping. I made that fucking bandwagon.
Right, what about JR Business? They were talking about it. Did y'all see that video?
Here's the thing.
Way over y'all's head. The viewers get it. Y'all get it.
You would think by asking that question to you guys that at least two of us would have a similar pick, right? But we didn't. Mm-hmm. Out of four of us in this room, we each have our own favorite altcoin.
Yeah.
And it's that very mentality that I believe this whole global coin, this whole Libra coin that everybody's shitting their pants about, like it's going to shut down the altcoin market, is nothing.
It's not going to shut down. It's not going to shut down the altcoin market. What it's going to do, it's going to bring non-crypto users in, but majority of them are too lazy or not educated enough to actually do their own research and to understand what it's doing. That's
what I'm afraid of too.
You will get people
who don't do research.
You will get people that will figure it out. And they'll hear their friends or their family talking about Bitcoin. Because I made a post right when the white paper was released. I told my friends and family, I said, I'm not on here a lot. I don't agree with Facebook. Do not invest in the Libra coin. It's going to attack your privacy. It is not real crypto. Whatever. Don't use it. Invest. Whatever. I was like, if you have questions, you want to know about blockchain, you want to know about crypto, you want to know about Bitcoin, my DMs are open.
I'll tell you this right now. For as much as I love bot trading, I'll use Libra coin as a stable coin for my bot trades.
I should have said Libra coin for my favorite. Dang, I missed a good opportunity there.
I will because let's face it. I mean, it's probably going to be the most stable of the stable coins.
I mean, the way they're going about backing their stable coin is actually pretty decent. Like, they're backing the stable coin is not bad. But like I said, once again, I think that one of the biggest threats is that people are going to use it and come into it, but then not ever really learn anything about crypto or why it can be actually helpful or how it can, help you with censorship resistance to, government control, because that's essentially what you're consenting to when you're using Libra coin, is to let them control your data, control your privacy, and be able to shut down they can reverse your payment, just like a credit card company can. So if they say you can't use it or you violated some sort of terms, I'm sorry, you violated our posting terms. We're going to freeze your wallet for 10 days.
You know what though? As much as I want to hate, I think it's good to have at least one crypto that's like that.
I'm a huge fan, guys. I'm telling you, the more I looked into this, I think it's gonna be good for crypto overall.
I bet you're a huge fan of centralized banking too, huh? But
that's who they're going against. That's who they're going. That's who the competitor is. Listen, here's the thing, guys. We get an occult-like mentality about cryptocurrency. We get in these coins that we really like. We talk about Bitcoin, especially when you talk about Bitcoin maximalists. Like they follow Bitcoin like it's its own entity, like it's David Koresh or something. You know, not saying it's bad, but you guys understand what I'm saying. Like whatever the people are saying about Bitcoin, whatever the popular opinion about maximalism is, like that's what I'm gonna have. And the fact is, if crypto is about being your own bank, right? That is one of the tenets of cryptocurrency, of what Bitcoin was created on, right? And if Libra Coin is able to offer that to someone living in a Nepalese village that wasn't able to have, wasn't able to have a bank account, but now can have one on his phone through Facebook Messenger, his Calibra wallet, whatever it is, and that's accomplishing what cryptocurrency is setting out to do, then how are we going to hate on that? You know, let's wait and see what
it is until they censor it and freeze that dude's
wallet. We don't know they're going to do that for sure, though. We don't know that we're going to do that for sure.
Okay,
there are 27 companies that all are going to have a say so. Facebook gets 1 out of 27 votes on whatever this is.
Companies.
They are, and I agree with that. And yes, those problems may come in the future.
You know what?
But
I'm going to recommend a podcast right now that everybody that's watching needs to listen to.
Beards and Bitcoins. Thank you.
It's from Shooter Jennings. It's called Beyond the Black, and it talks about all this shit, and you all need to watch it.
Yeah.
Or listen to it.
But Shooter Jennings, isn't he how old is he? Like 60 something now?
No, that Shooter Jennings.
That's Waylon. That you think maybe of Waylon Jennings, but
no, he's Waylon Jennings' son, and he's really immersed in the crypto space. And he talks about Bitcoin and crypto, and he's been in the space for a while. And
he's also a big gamer.
Yeah, and
I heard he likes first-person shooters.
Rumor has it he's going to come on I'm going to interview him.
Well, hey guys, I got to get going because I am hungry. I saw that couch that Crow got. I wanted to eat that thing, man, because I got to get some dinner, dude.
Yes.
So I think that this is a good point to wrap it up, guys. Make sure you do your own research on exchanges. When that Facebook coin hits the exchange, also make sure you know what you're getting yourself into.
Yep.
And make sure you visit crowsnestx.com.
Absolutely.
That's true. Go to the exchange when it comes out here next month. Grab up some of those Crow coins when they're released, and support people here who have been in the industry for a long time, and have a really good sense of how things should be from a perspective, personal perspective. So
go follow all these other people too.
Next time I want to get drunk on YouTube.
Thank you so much, everyone, for watching and stopping by. I appreciate everybody who gave me tips tonight. Thank you, Crow. Thank you, Stash. Thank you, BitBoy. Thank you, Crow, for being a sponsor to the BitBuzz. And shout out to all the haters that didn't think that we could do it, because we fucking sold out all our tickets.
Boom! That's right. All right.
It's going to be a rocking time, guys. We're going to have so much fun. So looking forward to it so much.
And you guys, when Crow's Nest release, y'all better check it out. I talk about this on my channel a lot, that I am bullish on companies that are compliant with US law, just because right now that's where we're at.
Yep.
So the fact that they're doing that, the fact that they've got attorneys and they're doing things the correct way, we talk about keeping our money safe and being in control of our, investment decisions. You want to keep your stuff safe, use his exchange.
Libra coin is the mark of the beast. On that note, have a good night, everybody.
All right, good boy out.
Bye, everyone. Thank you. Mwah.